Okay, good morning, everybody. I'm Vincent Mays. This is Listings to Leads, and today we're talking about top ways to get listings. Before we get into it, I just want to give you a high level of what we're doing here. We've been designed to help realtors advertise. We designed to help you get buyer leads and seller leads, listings specifically, and also to build your brand and to build your social media networks, right? So the way we capture leads, part of it is paid ads on Facebook, paid ads on Google, free social media postings that we can do automatically, or you can do them yourself when you want. Also print tools, email tools that you can blast on your CRM, 80 PDF guides branded to you, 40 for buyers, 40 for sellers, and landing pages. And they're all kind of template. Everything's built. You just go in and grab them or share them or whatever. So when we look at the website, you'll see there's just a lot of tools here that are available for you. Also, last year, 2024, we really started focusing on how to help our clients convert the leads, right? I think at this point, I don't know how long you've known us. What? Guys, can you hear me? Something is telling me I'm getting a red alert. Let's hope we're okay here. Does it look okay? All right, good. Let's see. No. Turn off. I'm going to turn off my camera because it's saying like something was weird. So what I was saying is we've got some really great ways of helping you engage your leads, convert the leads, turn them into business. If you scroll down, you're going to notice that we have really powerful listing marketing. We have Facebook and Google, Instagram ads. Social media posting is free. New AI text follow-up. I'll show you what that is. Really powerful, converting 10% of our leads to phone calls. You probably want to be thinking about this going forward. I'll explain to you why. Email marketing, as I mentioned, email tools, PDF guides, landing pages. We do integrate with all the major CRMs, and then we also have API Nation and Zapier or other kinds of bridges if you don't have a CRM on our list. Expired marketing, FSBO marketing, Google, great. Google is great for getting listings. I don't really recommend it for getting buyer leads, but listing leads, definitely. And you see here, we've got like print, right? Our highest quality seller leads, listing leads come up from our print tools. Really high quality from Google as well. Leads can come there. And Facebook. That's really less expensive leads, not quite as high quality, but believe me, our clients are converting these into buyers and sellers every week of the year. So Facebook is a great place to start. So that's what we're on about. That's what we're doing. Let's log in real quickly. And just as a note, since I'm looking at this, we do have team accounts and brokerage accounts and all kinds of partnerships. Reach out to me, Vince at listingstoleads.com if you need something like that. But let's get into the account. Before we dive into the nuts and bolts of this, let's talk about the resources that we have. One is actually our short video. So when you log in, we want you to watch these 1-minute videos, which are good. So you can watch them on YouTube. You can also watch them on Instagram if you're following us. I'll show you where to join us. But we always have live classes. And let's see, I see a question here. So let's open that up. Yeah, okay, come on. Okay, now it's working. How do I remember? Sorry. Okay, so we're good. We're good. So leadgenwebinars.com. I'm going to send this to everybody in case you're not on this call. Just go to leadgenwebinars.com and you can see this. Now I'm going to send this to everybody on the call right now. It should be flashing in the GoToMeeting thing. Top tools for more listings. That's what we're doing today, right? And Scott's doing a class tomorrow on marketing calendar. I'm doing a class on Facebook and Google, and then get started, right? Now, Facebook and Google, when I do that class, I break it down and here's how you get buyers and here's how you get sellers. So you might want to watch that, but we certainly are going to talk about a lot of that today. And then get started is a real good overview of the entire platform, which I try to do a little bit here, but who knows? We do have to be watching time. Top tools for more listings is today. That's what we're doing. And every class that we do, we record, including this one. Yes, it's being recorded. And I'm going to send this link to you right now. So this is also going to be flashing And this to me is actually our most important, valuable resource for you because Scott and I do training almost every day now, but definitely every week. And if you want to learn how to take this system and grow your business and double and triple your business, you're going to need to learn how to use it. And I actually tell people this, and what I'm going to tell you is going to freak everybody out, but I'm telling our clients, watch the first 3 or 4 rows of this. Some of them, like that's 13 minutes, it's an hour, 20 minutes, whatever. It will get repetitive. But when you know what tools you need to unlock for your business, you will be able to get more business basically with our system. If you're just poking your finger in and you're going to forget how to log in a week, we'll charge you until you figure out how to cancel. But if you want your business to grow, it's all right here. We go over it every week. That's our YouTube channel. You can get to those resources on the marketing calendar up here. It's on the top tab on the left. The marketing calendar is daily tasks, give you some tasks to do every day, which are great. And if you want buyers or sellers, it tells you what you're going to get. But over here are resources. And here's where you can follow us on YouTube. Here's how you get to our Instagram channel, which is where we put our shorts. And then the live webinars are here. And this is our mastermind group. So our mastermind group is actually another very valuable place. It's a group on Facebook. It's a private group. So you do have to click to join, and then we're going to look at your name and make sure you go here. But it's where Scott and I talk about what's happening, right? What's new that we're doing and what kind of new technology are we pushing, right? Now, it's also where agents share their successes. They may say, hey, I did this and we got all these results, but it's also where sometimes clients ask questions. And there's a really relevant question that I think I want to just start off here, right? This guy has been a client with us for a while, and he never seems to use the support page, which you can get faster answers. He just throws up stuff here, but it's irrelevant to what we're talking about. So, good morning. I may be missing something obvious, but I can't seem to figure out this one out. When someone hits the home valuation landing page and only provides an address and no other information, is the home value report stored somewhere on the LTL platform where I can go back and get it? I know that I receive an email with a copy of the report, but I get so many emails that sometimes it's hard. What's he talking about? What is a home valuation landing page? Since we are talking about getting more listings, let's start there and really understand how this thing works. So when you sign up, you get a handful of landing pages that we've already designed for you, right? And we call this free home values. This one is integrated on almost all of the tools that you have. So it's going to be in your account and it's going to look like this. And I definitely recommend that you click this edit pencil and you make sure that background photograph looks like your area, right? Because if it doesn't, maybe people don't fill it out. So let me show you what the page looks like in real time. And so you can share this wherever you want. It's integrated with many of the marketing tools that we create for you. I'll show you kind of some examples of that later. And then some people run ads on this, right? And get people here. But I want to show you how this page works. The first question is, hey, get your home value. Give us your address. Okay, boom. Oh, please don't tell me. Okay. Sometimes my laptop just takes a nap on me or my keyboard. So you type in any address in residential in the US, not in Canada and not in Latin America. But here in the US, we can get an instant value. So when you type in your address and you click get that, it says, great. What's your email address? We can give you that number right now. What's your email address? And Todd is telling us he's not getting emails. Are we even capturing a home value? And the answer is no, we're not even running the home value because nobody gave us an email address. We're not going to deliver that until they do. And a good portion of people will walk away rather than just give you a simple email address. Now, a longer discussion, which I will go to just for learning purposes, is somewhere you can form fields. Form fields are here, page 1. There's the address. We've hidden the unit number, but let's say you're working in a city where there are condos, right? You could put optional unit number, right? I'm going to do custom to show you one more thing. And this is just for our knowledge here. Over here, it says hide phone number and email address is required. So to get that value, you got to give us your email address. If you decide to even make it optional, if you make it optional and I'm looking at that I got to type in my phone number, I'm out of here. Most people are out of here. If you require it, you pretty much shoot your lead gen right in the foot. It's probably not going to work at all. And for many people, just asking for their email address is a showstopper. So you're welcome to try all those things out. There are a lot of agents out there that want to require a phone number, and then they come and complain that they're not getting leads. And that's because nobody wants to put their phone number on a website anymore, right? We're in a world of scams all over the place, right? In your email, they're in Facebook. I keep getting nonsense. FBI's talking about Google and Apple, and there's just so many scams that nobody's going to be putting their phone number there except on Facebook. Okay. So we have many tools inside the system, over 200 that you can access. And many of them ask for what's your email address, what's your contact info. And that can or cannot work. But when you run an ad on Facebook, it's like, this is where we're getting the most amount of name, email, and phone numbers. So that's just worth noting. So now we know how this page works, right? You should, when you're new to us, go to the landing page section, click create landing page, and Property Valuation Plus is it's the long name for the free home value. Then you can create, that gives you an instant home value. You can create as many as you need, right? I got one for Honolulu and Glendale down in LA and San Antonio. You might have one. This one here is for a neighborhood right by me where there's a swim club in front, right? And so that's the beginning of the neighborhood. So if I'm working on that neighborhood, having a photograph that's relevant is going to give me better likelihood of capturing the lead information that I want, right? So anyway, you can custom those. There are many kinds of landing pages. There are landing pages for FSBOs and expireds, right? So I was talking to a gentleman this morning who was saying he really has a strategy of working expireds, but now everybody in the market is coming in and working that. Well, there's increased competition ever since NAR threw everybody, or NAR threw everybody, all the buyer's agents under the bus. People got to start getting competitive. And that's what we're going to talk about, is how to be competitive to have more listings. Okay. So let's talk about that. Before we go further, I want to direct everybody to the GoToMeeting navigation bar. There is a button there. I think it has a paperclip on it, and it has 2 documents in there. I would recommend that you download and print both of these and that you leave them on your desk, because if you want more listings, this document I'm about to show you right now is literally what we're going to talk about today. And it is what you need to be executing every week of the year. Now, not the whole list. You don't have to do everything on this list every week of the year, but you got to do something on this list. So let's talk through it so we know what we got to get our arms around, right? Mail out the nearby homeowner letter. I'll show you what it is. Most popular tool. Run ads on Facebook on pending, under contract, and sold tools. Create a Property Valuation Plus page. That's what we just looked at. Run ads with it on Facebook and Google. Once you've created it, that's a good way to get it in front of thousands of people. Also, there are 80 PDF guides, but 40 are for homeowners. So you can run ads on Facebook and Google for those and capture seller leads as well. And then there are other ways to market those PDF guides. I'll show you this, right? And then there's a home sold report, which is a piece of paper, again, that you mail into the neighborhood. And then mailing just sold postcards, that's going to get you listing leads too. And we have e-flyers for all the things I just listed. So if you've got a big database, a CRM of hundreds or thousands of leads, you want to be hitting them with our email. You'll see why. I'll show it to you. And then there are tools for the sellers. So we actually, instead of you saying, hey, I just listed a home, which we will do automatically for you, we'll give you a tool, we'll email it to you for you to share with your homeowner to say, hey, Joe, the agent, is selling our home and want to share it with you. That way people start to know that you are your client's realtor, right? And that ideally you can get referrals from that. Now, the last thing on this list is, I call it advanced, but honestly, what was advanced 2 years ago, I think is now critical if you're going to be competitive in this market. And that is, get a list of people who own homes for more than 5 years in your market. Okay. So let me explain what I mean. Arch Agent sells this kind of thing. Remind.com sells this kind of thing. RedX.com, Vulcan 7, Cole Resource. I'm sure there are others. You want a list of homeowners at least 1,000 leads deep that have got more than 5 years equity, right? That's how you're going to target and really build your business. I recommend that everybody starts with their first farm market. You might have 3 or 4 or even 10 farm markets. Start with one. And again, this list needs to have name, phone number, email, and print address. And once you have that, you can upload that list to your CRM. Maybe you've got that list already in there. And now you can take our e-flyers and every week blast those people. You know they got equity because that's what you paid for, right? You can also mail either the home sold report, the nearby homeowner letter, or just sold postcards to that same group of people, right? So you're emailing them every week and you're mailing something to them once or twice a month, okay? And you can take that same list and then upload it into Facebook as a custom audience. I'll show you how to do that next. And Cheryl's got a great question. The list companies, is this information available in Canada? I think the answer is no. Canada has some stricter privacy policies regarding sold information. I don't think there's anybody that gathers that. I don't know anybody in the US that does that, but I think Canada, and there are also some counties and maybe states in the US that don't allow that either. And so so it's not 100% across the US. It's definitely not available outside of the US. Like Europe, they take privacy more seriously than we do. And Canada, I think, does as well. So that kind of data is obviously recorded, but not made public. So I don't know, but yeah. And that just makes it difficult. So you're doing more of a postal code kind of mailing. You don't know who actually has it. All right. This, again, let me remind you, should be printed and either stapled to your forehead or on your desk. Like, you've got to be acting on this thing all the time. This is the other flyer that was included, which is Facebook and Google. Now, this will tell you the things that get buyer leads and the things that get seller leads, but it's almost redundant. You need to work on this one, and this will also cover the Facebook. And I'll show you what that is. So let's talk about, we mentioned that we want to get that list. Let's get into the system and see where would we put that, right? So we want you to have that list to mail our tools to email blast once a week, and to run an ad once a week, right? So if I run an ad on a home that's for sale or just listed or whatever, it's going to be like, run this ad and do whatever town you select in a 15-mile radius. This is the major problem with Facebook, especially if you're trying to get listing leads. So over here is a blue button that says create audience. And I could call this, I don't know, Concord Homeowners, right? Whatever city you bought that list from. Has to be 1,000 leads long. It has to look just like this spreadsheet right here. Those headings, those words on top, and those fields in the list. When you buy this list, it's probably going to have 30 or 40 rows of data, columns of data, right? Save that for another purpose, delete it and make it look just like this. And don't hide it. Delete those extra columns of data and upload it. Now you upload it and you import it. So that list is not going to live in listings to leads. It's going to live on Facebook. So even if you stop working with us, you're going to have that and be able to target. So let me show you when that becomes critical. That's when you're running a home valuation landing page on a city. So let's see if I have one here. I went back and forth. Here's Walnut Creek. Okay. And lead ads. Remember how I was telling you that Facebook is where we get the most amount of leads with phone numbers? It's that word right there. And let me tell you, you need to remember that, because if you get given the option of traffic, that's when people click on the ad and they land here and they don't give you their email address. Okay. That's literally what's going to happen. They're going to land here. They're going to put their address and it's like, get the value. And then, oh, I don't want to give you my email address. That's just human nature. That's the world we live in. But if I run the ad on Facebook with lead ads, it's going to look exactly the same to the consumer. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run. Here's a question for Mita. Can you buy this list from L to L, or how much is the list of 1,000? We don't sell that list right now. We don't have any data sets like that. I think we're talking about doing My Plus leads, but I'm not quite sure when that will happen. But I think that list costs anywhere from $50 to $100. Make sure you have name, phone, email, and address. So this here is my landing page for Walnut Creek. And it says, what's your home worth now? Recent home sales. And then click in here and changes in, come on keyboard, in Walnut Creek have affected your home value, right? So you can make this change, right? And you might want to get some sales data, right? Let's say 30 homes sold this year. And the high was whatever, right? That will make that ad work a little bit more. Yeah. And Sean is saying, oh, hey, Sean, that a lot of title companies offer this data. But that is true. I don't know if they're going to give you the name, phone, email, and address. You need that to be able to execute on that, right? You need the emails, you need the you need the address for print, and you need email, phone, and you just need name, first name, last name, phone, and email to get it into Facebook. Okay. So yeah, title companies do have that for free. Just make sure you have all those data points. Okay. So let's go back to the ad. And I want to show you why you need that list. Yeah. And Sean saying you don't have email and phone number. So that makes it's great if you just want to mail. But remember, we're talking about a competitive landscape here to get more listings. I know there's still some states where the inventory is going through the roof, but for most of us, we got to fight for our listings, right? You're going to get that list, and let me show you why you want that. And this may not be relevant for everybody, but let me share my story of why it's relevant to somebody like me. And I live in California, right? And in California, we have 40 million people here, right? So it's dense. Come on, keyboard. Oh my God, sorry. Let's just imagine that my keyboard is going to work. And I was going to type in Walnut Creek, which you would think, because that picture is of the main mall in Walnut Creek. Everybody knows that there's a fountain there. And I would type in Walnut Creek and it would say minimum 15-mile radius. Okay. So what does that mean? Oh, let's see. Is it going to work here? Oh, crikey. Okay. Walnut Creek, the city. So when you click on Walnut Creek in Facebook and you say a 15-mile radius, that's problem number one. Problem number one usually is an agent doesn't want to even create a page called Walnut Creek. They just want to use their generic one and go out there. And if they don't get much results, they're sad. And then I always say, hey, why don't you take this class and learn how this whole thing works? So let me show you a 15-mile radius around Walnut Creek. This is about it right here. This little section right here is Walnut Creek. And a 15-mile radius around there means that there is about 1 million people who are going to see this ad and it's not relevant to them. Okay. And that is a problem. That's why I'm saying, hey, go buy a list of homeowners and then go over to our system. And instead of typing in Walnut Creek, oh, thank you for working, click this button that says retarget. Instead of a location, click here and say, oh, I don't have it connected here. Your list of Walnut Creek homeowners would show up right there. You could just type in W and it would pull it up and you would highlight it. And now this ad will only show to those people on this 7-day period for $50. Okay. This is a $50 ad by default. You can change it higher. I wouldn't change it much lower because these leads cost about $12 to $15 per lead. If they're $15, you divide 50 by 15 and you would expect 3 leads. Okay. You definitely want to be getting a photograph that makes people feel comfortable that you know their area, right? Because if you go out super generic and ask them for their information, they are just going to go, who are you? I don't even know who you are. And I'm not giving you any of that. I want to remind you, I'm going to click this button, not because you need to click this button, but I'm going to click this button to show you why our Facebook ads are so powerful. When they see the ad and they click on it, it's going to ask them what is their time frame to sell or buy, right? Depending on what kind of ad it is. And this little contact form has their full name, their email address, and phone number. And it's pre-populated. Nobody is typing anything in. Okay. So at this point, I don't know, Facebook is maybe 15, 16, 20 years old. People are comfortable giving you their contact information when it's presented like this. When you ask them to type it in, they're not comfortable. They don't even respond to this. And Sean, I know you're up in the Pacific Northwest. Years ago, I signed up a company called Windermere, and we had 250 offices in the Western 10 states. And we could tell from just the metrics of what was going on that people in the Pacific Northwest will almost never fill out something like this. In other parts of the country, they're not that private, right? But boy, up there, they do not want to be shown this. However, they do respond more often on the Facebook platform. And this is true if you need buyer leads or seller leads. We got a lot of ways of putting tools out there for free on social media. We give you print tools, give you e-flyers, get all kinds of ways to capture leads, but you will never get as many name, email, and phone number as with a Facebook ad. I hope everybody is really crystal clear on that. Because for me personally, capturing leads is cool. We're excited we can help our clients do that. And our clients get excited. They've never seen 50 leads and they're spending like $200. I've never seen that. It's like normally the Zillow model, right? But it's when they convert into business that's more exciting to Scott and I. And that's our goal, is to make these things, not only that you can capture a high volume, but you're going to be turning that into business. And that's why I stress this whole Facebook story. I hope you understand that. Okay. So speaking of Facebook, that's the way that most agents, I'm going to show you what many agents do, because most agents, you can probably imagine, don't even bother taking a class like this. So they go over to the landing page and say, oh yeah, you've got a landing page. These are my past ones. Oh, let's go to, we're looking at the ads page. That's why it's confusing. So the landing page, most agents will say, oh, that I want a free home value. I've seen that kind of page before. Let me just run an ad. And literally almost every 2 weeks, I see the complaint in our mastermind group of people saying, I ran something and it didn't work. And here's problem number one. Our default setting is traffic. And we know, because I've told you 3 times, nobody wants to fill this thing out. So when you run the ad and you click traffic, it means click the ad and land on this page and give us your address and don't give me your email. So that is a default setting. And so I'm letting you know, like, that's the first mistake. People just do the default. We should change it, but I can't get my tech team to move fast enough. So make it a lead ad. And then they go out and just this generic thing. They don't even type in the name of a city. And we all know how many scams there are in this world today. So that's not really the smartest thing to do, right? The smartest thing to do is to say Walnut Creek and put a picture of Walnut Creek, or put a picture of a famous restaurant, or whatever kind of thing is popular in your area that everybody knows you are a local, right? Because you're going to want their name, phone number, and email. If they don't have any trust, they don't know who you are, you can imagine the results. But that's typically what people do. They don't even bother, nothing in here. that looks like your area. Just launch it and then come and cry to us when it doesn't work. I always recommend that you click the pencil and make this look like your area. People are going to know because we're going to auto embed this in many tools. If you're going to run an ad, make an ad of something that is really relevant to your market. This is for Glendale. This is a very popular mall. You get it, right? That's what's happening. If you're in San Antonio, Texas, this is the beautiful Riverwalk. Everybody knows that. Might be even a little too touristy. You might want something that is more specifically speaks to your area. Let me show you something just to make this. Oh, don't do it. Man, I don't know if it's my keyboard or what. It must be the keyboard. Give me a second. Just crazy making. Give me a second, guys. I am trying to make my keyboard work and it wants to, and then it doesn't. What I was going to tell you is I set up, there we go, Coldwell Baker in Summit, New Jersey years ago. And they told me that the number one landing page for home values, the number one ad was the one with the photograph of the Summit Diner. This is the Summit Diner. And you can see it's like an old railroad car. You get the greasy bacon and eggs on the weekend kind of thing. But that sits on Main Street. And that thing's been there for obviously many years. So it's Summit Diner, Summit, New Jersey. And that's what I'm trying to get to you right here. Do you have a webinar on the best practice for Facebook for ad leads? I don't know. Yeah, that's the class that's called Facebook and Google. Amy, did you get here and hear me talk about leadgenwebinars.com? Because that's where I talk about Facebook ads. So anyway, back to the landing page. When we look at this, I want to go back to this letter here because we're talking about custom audience, create a landing page for that area and target the custom audience instead of using that. So I think everybody's got their arms around that, right? Now, there are other ways to share this, and let's click on marketing tools for this one. It doesn't have to be Facebook. You can actually run an ad on Google and it's incredibly easy. Those leads cost more and they are higher quality leads. Okay. If you're in Dallas, Texas, a Google ad costs a lead to run that exact same landing page cost $30 each. In Pennsylvania, they are $22 each. And these are averages. And in Salt Lake City, $17 each. Somebody mentioned Canada. Cheryl, what city are you in? I think you're like Ontario. In Vancouver, Washington, which has a lot of cash buyers coming in from China, these leads cost $200 to $300 each on Google because that is the number one place. It's the number one website in the country and 86% of all questions are asked there. And if cash buyers are coming in and buying your homes in Vancouver, you're going to pay that fee to get those people. And that is what's going on. That's why the cost of leads is so high up in Vancouver. Higher intent, right? When you think about what's going on, let's talk about what's happening here, right? It's like people come to Facebook to just look at stuff, right? What do their friends do over the weekend? What are they eating, right? Right here is, I'm not even sure what that is. So it's telling me to spend some money. But somewhere, usually it's the second or third post, it's telling you run an ad. Oh no, it's telling you here is an ad. So where we are, there would be like your open house, or I just listed something, or get your conquered home value or something like that. It would be right here. And when they click on it, you get their lead, right? But people don't go to Facebook with their questions. 86% of the time in the US, they go to this page, like, where's a good restaurant? Where can I get a nice hotel? How do I sell my home? What does it cost to sell my home? What are taxes when I sell? All those questions are right here. And when you are running an ad on Google, we're embedding the keywords, right? Let's click here. Yeah, I can't quite show you here, but we're auto embedding the keywords. So that ad responds to the Google thing, right? To their keywords. And that's why it worked. And they typed in those words, our answer, they liked our answer. They gave you the information. Those are high quality leads, expensive, but easy and high quality. You can share these things like this landing page to your social media. When you do that, when you share it, and you can actually tell us to do it for you automatically, you are now doing a traffic post, a free post. It can go to your social media, but it's traffic only. It's not capturing leads. Now, I mentioned back here that there's something on this page here of that we have tools to email and that we want you to email that list once a week. That would be the e-flyer for your database. It's the home sold report, right? It says, hey, this is what's going on in San Antonio. Affect your home value, get your home value. See, these are two other pages that we created for you. Lots of lead capture there, but this is the instant home value one. Okay. A lot of our clients, and I actually know this from an agent or broker owner in San Antonio, he created his own home value landing page for San Antonio. And he takes this here, the postcard section, and gets this thing here, this door hanger, and prints them in batches of 1,000 for vistaprint.com. And he doesn't even door knock. He just walks in the neighborhood and hangs them on the door and keeps walking. Because by the end of the day, people have scanned that and gotten their free home value. So that's a very easy way. There's obviously a print cost there and some time for you to walk. If you have that kind of neighborhood, that is a great way of getting it out there. And you're putting it on their door. They're only going to scan that and give you to get that information. They got to give you the email. Now there's a letter in the back here too, which we call, oh, you've been doing that, Maria? That's cool. How is that working? You getting any results? So these three letters are the same letter. They just look different. And these are, we call them a home sold report. You want to edit it and you want to put some data points of 30 homes sold this month and the high is here. You want this to be on one page and you can mail this to people with equity. Why? Because you bought that list from one of these great companies. Remember what I was talking about there? So back to this, you're emailing them with our e-flyers. You're mailing something to this list, maybe not the whole list, because that always costs money, 1 to 2 times a week. So this letter is a great letter to mail to them. A sold postcard and you might have mailed just sold postcards. I'm going to tell you one more thing since we're on this page. I don't know if any of you, Amanda Albright, could you show us, hey, Daron, how are you? Could you show us again the few clicks on how to buy the homeowner list? Yeah. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'll go right back and do that. Amanda Albright is a realtor / coach. And almost every week people come to us because this is what she's doing. She's created her favorite landing page and she gets this QR code and she puts it on everything she's been printing year after year. And it says, scan here for a free home value. Now, after a while, you keep mailing things, they're going to see that I can get my home value. They're just going to know, and they may have that sitting on their countertop for months or years. And then they scan it. I just keep getting seller leads from this. Whatever she mails out, whatever print that she's doing, it has that QR code. And I have people come here all the time, look just to get that. So let's talk again about where can we get these kinds of lists, right? Arch Agent, I hear, is really good. ListSource.com. Maybe I need a new keyboard. This is owned by CoreLogics, right? And I've actually heard these are very affordable. Don't forget the data that you need, right? Remind.com. It's funny. I've been talking about Remind for years because our clients have been using it for years. And every time I went there, I didn't know what the heck they do. But now it's very clear. You're buying a list of homes with equity. I'm sure they're getting more business from this. And then redx.com. And now my keyboard's taking it. Now, redx.com will sell that. Cole Resource. Even I've heard Vulcan 7 and somebody mentioned Sean, what do you call it? Some title places have, but I don't think the title will ever give you the phone and an email. And those are critical, especially for Facebook, because they're going to need that to map the right people. Can I connect my Facebook ad account? Kim, that's a great question that you go right down here for support and ask them what in the world is going on there. Okay. Bottom left, just write like you typed there, cannot connect my Facebook ad account, and they'll give you some help there. So we've talked about landing pages. I'm going to jump up. I clicked on listings, but I'm going to jump up to PDF guides. So everybody has 80 PDF guides. 40 of them are for home buyers. 40 of them are for home selling. Okay. So you can decide, and since we're talking about how to get listings, let's just concentrate there. You can come here and you can see, you can download all these if you want to look at them, but you click on marketing tools and notice I got 12 mistakes to avoid. Right when you click on it, boom, we're writing an ad. Now, remember when I said a sold ad or the home valuation landing page ad? We're using lead ads. We like name, email, phone number. And I said those leads can cost $15 each. These are a little less. These cost around $10 each. Same $50 ad. Now you're going to get 5 leads. We literally had a client go over on YouTube or on Google and run an ad on Google, and he gets a listing from just one ad, right? We also can post these automatically throughout the year. When you do your setup on your wizard, we'll post all these landing pages, all these PDF guides with landing pages. And remember, I said, buy the list so you can email them. This is one of those things you can email these people, right? There are actually 80. So, you're covered. There's 40 for homeowners. They click on that picture. They click on that link. Even these two, they're all lead capture, right? And if you want, I don't know if I would tell you to do this. You can print things too, right? Postcards and stuff like that. So it is something, if you're kind of lacking, what should I mail to my market this month? Maybe that is something, a postcard like that. Both the front and back of these postcards are going to capture lead, right? So that's PDF guides. Let's go over to listings because there's some important stuff here that we wanted to talk about. And I want to talk about the number one most important tool that we have, and that is our nearby homeowner letter. It's on the top of this page. Mail out the nearby homeowner letter, right? That's one of the things that you should be mailing every month. Let's close this. I got way too many things open. And so usually our clients want to do this when they have something just listed or just sold. So let's click this. And when we see, down here is the nearby homeowner letter. This letter, it's not the sexiest thing in the world. It's just the most effective thing for getting seller leads that turn into seller contracts. Okay. And if you run an ad on Facebook, you're going to get more leads. Are they going to convert as fast as the leads that are coming from this piece of paper? No. So imagine that you bought that list I keep talking about, and you're mailing this to people with more than 5 years equity that says, I just sold a home in your neighborhood and affects your home value. Go here to get your free home value. That's the gist of it. So our clients typically mail this out in batches of 100 or 200, and now even 500. There's somebody that says he's mailing 500 because why? He's getting a return. If you use Connect Express, you can connect. They will mail it to people with equity in a 1, 2, or 3 mile radius. Cost $185, basically $1.85 per letter. But they download it, they fold it, and they mail it to people coming from your address to theirs. The only thing I don't like about this is that envelope looks a little bit generic, like bulk mail, right? Because it's coming from their computer. And I want to show you, and what a lot of our clients are doing is they're doing it themselves. They're doing what I'm suggesting to you, which is buy your list, don't use express copy, and somehow make that thing, get that to. Now, what I've been saying in the past, this is the letter. It's got some sales data that's coming in automatically pulled from our stuff. She prints on the back with Microsoft Publisher. Okay. And that little red stamp on the left, that's Microsoft Publisher. Looks like she hand did this thing, right? She does hand fold them and hand writes these envelopes. A lot more work compared to express copy, but why would she do that? Because the first 100, she always mails out just listed and just sold. The first 100 got her 4 listings. The second 100, which is what we're looking at right here, gets her another 4 listings. So that's one property, 200 pieces of mail, and 8 more listings, right? Pat has been a client of ours for probably 14 or 15 years now. She was one of the earliest clients and operates out of Louisiana. And if you go look in our mastermind group throughout the years, she is in there every year talking about this letter. You probably want to be taking advantage of that letter. I definitely like this one from one of our new clients who also used that letter. He's still looking at ways to get more business. And so he's giving us other suggestions as well. But The handwritten model concept, that takes more work, right? But more higher results, right? That's really the gist of that. Let's see. Let's get back to, I got too many pages open. That's the nearby homeowner letter. If the home is sold, I talk to realtors all the time, and they do mail things. They do mail things to their market. And you know what they have covered? Their branding and their picture and their phone number. I don't know if you can see it at the top of this, underneath where it says sold, there's a website that they can go to and get their home value. There's even a text code if you're using our text IVR, so they can text right from their phone and get their home value, or they can scan right there and get that QR code and get their home value. 3 call to actions on one postcard. On the front, you flip the thing over. On the back, hey, that affects your home value. Are you getting it now? What we're trying to do here, we're trying to capture leads for you. If you use the tools, they typically work. All right. Now, just sold postcards. There's so many people that send out really good looking just sold postcards, but guess what? Your phone isn't ringing from those, and they're not going to really ring from ours either, but they are going to go open up those other websites and figure out what their home is worth. That happens all the time. So just sold postcards, nearby homeowner letters. This is a great thing to do. And also when I said, if you got a database, so here's an e-flyer for your database. If you, let's say you've got that whole list of people, now you can copy this, take it over to your CRM and say, hey, I just sold a home. You can do this every time you have a listing. Remember, I said, you got to email this list once a week. So if this week you have an open house and next week you have a sold, you can do the same home week after week, right? Just listed, open house and sold. Sprinkle that with some PDF guides and some landing pages. You've got a weekly campaign. Do I already have this program? Oh, that's a great question. I don't know, Danji. You can email me at vince@listings2leads and I can find out for you, but I can't find out right here. So we've talked about, that's the number one tool. And I'll tell you, if you like that story of Pat, go look in here, because right here, I think a day later, she shares the template to make this. So if you're using Microsoft Publisher and you want your stuff to look super custom and local, that's the template, or whatever you call it, the software thing to make that work. So Pat was really kind to share that with us. Nearby homeowner letter, get that out there. Yeah. Let's see. Let's get rid of this. And there's a couple of other cool things. Those are really the tools. Let's go make sure that we talked about everything. Nearby homeowner letter, number 1, Facebook ads on under contract or sold or pending listings. Test these all out. And I'm going to say something I just heard last week. Let's say you wanted to run an ad. This home is sold. So how would I run a sold ad? I would click on, I can see it's sold because that's the status. I click here and notice what it says. It says, this home is sold. That affects your home value. Click here for your home value. It's that easy. Boom, click that. And that's going to get you leads with name, email, phone number. So Tanji is saying, when can I access this replay? I'm going to send this to everybody. It's a link to our YouTube channel. This call will probably be on there either later today or tomorrow, right? But now everybody has that again in the GoToMeeting chat panel. So let me talk a little bit about Facebook, which, is relevant to this piece right here. You remember when I'm telling you, like, this kind of lead costs $7 on average? That number can change. If you run the same ad the same day, and one's in the morning, one's afternoon, the price per lead is going to be different. You run the same ad every day of the week, the price per lead will be different. And what we have learned is that if you see that the price per lead is low, or in the average, like $7 or even $4 or $5, you would be wise to extend that, go and edit the ad, extend the expiration date, and put more money into it. Because you will notice if you're running an ad, even though I'm saying, hey, the average cost of this lead is $7, you might log in one day and go, oh, the ad is actually costing me $15 a lead. And it's just the weirdness of Facebook, right? So at that point, if it's going high, like here, it says $2.12 a lead, $3, $5, $6 a lead, right? You can see this inside your account. And if you see it's a high number, like sometimes I see leads costing $22, just turn it off right here. Just turn the ad off and restart. Okay. But if you see that it's a low price per lead, maybe extend it and put more money into it, because it's just the goofiness of Facebook, right? Where's that top tools list? Inside, are you on your computer, Michelle, the GoToMeeting platform? There is a navigation bar, like where you can click buttons, and one of them has a paperclip on it. And that paperclip is, there are two documents. One is top tools. Yeah, print this. You need to have this. Like everybody needs to have this thing. So so that was a little divergence on Facebook ads. I want to show you two new things that we have. We have a listing presentation that our clients have been telling us for years. It's awesome. We deliver it in print format here and in flip format here. I'm going to show you what it looks like, but you can also make the listing presentation at the listing level. So instead of putting something in there that's just listed or open house, you could put a listing in here on a listing that you're about to go to, right? So you go take a photo of the home, you put it in there, and now wherever there's a photo of a home in our listing presentation, it's going to be in this listing presentation. So they're going to see what their home looks like on a paid ad, on free social media marketing, on YouTube. They're going to see their home. Do you see that photo? That is just one image of a home, and you can do that with your smartphone, right? So if you're going on a listing presentation, do this, and then tell those people, hey, I even make a mobile website. Homeowner, scan this with your phone right now while we're sitting at the kitchen table, right? And they will scan it. A link will come up and this website will pop up on their phone, which makes you look like a tech wizard, right? So you can go through this. There's a print version, so you can leave that behind for them. That thing is really impressive. And so that's really new. The other cool thing, and this kind of wraps up and brings us back to where we started. Remember how I kept talking about Facebook ads having all the phone numbers? This is my demo account, so I'm not running a lot of ads. So you can see I only have a few phone numbers. If you go into our clients' live accounts right now, all of their leads have phone numbers if they know to stick with the Facebook ads. And that gets us to this story right here, which is AI text follow-up. So if you're getting a lead with a phone number, you probably think you need to call that lead. And you would be mistaken, because nobody wants to talk to people that they don't know on the phone because of all the scams, right? Lord, it just never ends. You get scams in your email. You get scams on phone calls. I remember hearing a couple of years ago, you could just say the word yes and you could be on a scam. So nobody is really even going to take that call. And if they do take it, because maybe it's somebody and it's you and they don't know you, you're going to hear something like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. No, that wasn't me. And that's what people hear. And that's when people are like, these are crap leads. If you had texted those people instead with just single questions like, hey, I see you were looking at that home over there in that town. Is that what you're after? If you're looking for a 3-2 or what, is that your price range? Simple questions, one at a time, just like a phone call. You wouldn't just blather on for 10 minutes and take a breath, right? You would ask them a question, go back and forth. This AI software, it's true AI, and it's really smart, and it's converting 10% of our Facebook leads or any lead that has a phone number to a phone call. And we give you the whole conversation. If you're going to be somebody who is following this story of you're running an ad every week, you're going to find and you're welcome to just text those leads. Please text your leads like I just showed you in that conversation. Simple questions. Don't write a big paragraph and dump that on them. Nobody's going to be looking at that. I can tell you, I don't. Simple question, back and forth, just like you were in a conversation. At some point, they're going to say thanks, but no thanks. Or you know what? Can we just schedule a call? And when you schedule a call, now you close a meeting. And when you close the meeting and you're in the meeting, you get a signature. That's really what you're after, right? Do you recommend emailing this listing presentation to a seller who, yeah, a lot of people do that. Good question, Mita. Let me show you. I moved on quick because we're running out of time. I'm happy to answer any questions. We've got 1 minute left. So the listing presentation is here, and we actually create, that's the Flipbook version. You can run an ad on that right here. You can run an ad on Google as well. And the thing is impressive. So you can even share this listing presentation for free on your social media. You may not have a big enough audience where that's going to generate seller leads, but if it does, you should probably do it anyway. It just tells people, you know what you're doing, right? There's an e-flyer for your database. Remember I said, email that list. Since you bought a list of people with equity, you probably want to email and let them know, hey, I've got a listing presentation. This is my listing. This is how I sell homes. I hope this is all making sense, everybody. Are there any more questions about what's going on? I think that's the end of my story. There are more tools that capture leads, seller leads, right? There's a client review webpage, captures seller leads. And actually, let me just show this. So this client review webpage, you can actually import reviews from Zillow, from Google, Testimonial Tree, and you can add them if you got them on Facebook or you got them where else. How do you upload the pic on? Yeah. Okay. Good question. Let me come back to that. We create a website that showcases your reviews. Let's look at it. Okay. And it's got this little thing up here. All your reviews are here. And as you scroll down, there's that listing presentation. Yeah, they can download that, right? They just got to give you their contact information. No biggie. Here are 3 landing pages. So they click on this. You know what that is, right? Getting your free home value. Give us your information, right? All the PDF guides I just talked about, you can download them for free, right? Just give us your contact info, right? Do you own a home? Do you need to sell? You get it? All your listings are here. Even your sold listings are here, right? And your pick and then your big home value. But the point of this is to showcase your reviews. So you should become friends with your clients on Facebook. And I'm going to show you the number one reason why. If I go tag my client and I say, hey, you're home, great working with you, all that, you sugarcoat that. But you tag your client, like I just tagged Scott. All of Scott's friends and family and colleagues that see him and follow him on Facebook, they're going to see this, right? And when they click on it, and this is not a paid ad, so this lives forever, right? You say, oh, it's so wonderful to work with you, and blah, blah, blah. Let me know if I can ever help you. I love working in this area. You really schmooze that up. That does not expire like a 7-day ad. And our clients actually get listings, sellers and buyers, months after they do this, right? And this is just your reviews. There's actually, when you have a home sold, there's a tool. Let me show you that. There's a tool that we email automatically to you. And if you're like most of our clients, you simply ignore it. Right? But it actually gets some really high quality leads. Again, not like a Facebook ad. Let me show you what it is. It's called, we email it to you, and I got the guys to slim it down so you don't have to read it. But realtors hate reading anything, right? Let me show you what we're sending to you automatically, and that you're probably not using. When you sell a home, we send this to you, and we say, send this to your homeowner and ask them to put it on their wall. We actually ask you to do this right when you list a home and open house and sold. But when it's sold, it says, hey, we just sold our home and we want to recommend you at your office. And here's your phone number and email in front of all my friends and family and colleagues on Facebook. And this is going to live here forever unless I cancel my Facebook account or I delete this. And people don't delete it because they're happy you sold their home. This tool, the client review tool, this is good stuff, right? So you want to be using that stuff if you want free, high quality leads. So somebody asked, how did you add the home picture to the presentation? So what you do there is you go to listings. Let's go to listings, and you're adding a listing. Okay. And so normally your listings auto sweep into the system, right? From your MLS and stuff like that. But you can actually add a listing manually, and that's what you're going to do. And if you got a seller lead and you're going to do something, you just need to put in a couple data points. You don't need to like write a novel here. And it could just have a couple of words there, right? But the next page says save and add a photo, just one photo. And you can go take that with your smartphone, do it horizontally, and then upload it here. And that's going to replace every image of the home with the image that you uploaded. I hope that, can you add people into L2L with their phone and property that oh, that's a good question. So meaning you captured the lead and somewhere you got their name and phone number and you want to add it. Is that what you're saying, Darren? How do you upload a house pic? Yeah, I answered that question twice. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Right now, no, but that's a good recommendation. If you don't mind sending me an email on that one, that's a good point. Where and that gets inside. If there are any more questions, let me know. I am going to tell you a little bit about the future. We have a page here. We looked at leads because all your leads are stored here, and AI text follow up is here. Follow ups are here, which you really want to use, but once you set them, they're drip campaigns. You can set and forget. We got English and Spanish buyers and sellers. These have a high open rate than I think higher than any CRM. And we actually know from our feedback that these drip campaigns are closing appointments. These two tabs are going to be turned into what we're going to call a pipeline to help you work leads, manage leads. And at that point, Darren, we're going to make that available to update your profile, update that lead information. Because when we look at a lead right now, and maybe we can, let's just go look at it right here. So I got a lead, right? If we click view details, add phone number, you can actually add phone number right here. So that's already a deal. Sorry, I didn't know that. There's so many things in this platform. I don't remember every little thing, but yeah, you can actually do that. I would do that. And if we need to add more fields, we will. We're actually going to be, as I mentioned, beefing up this whole section. So I don't see any more questions. Thanks everybody for joining me and hanging out, and appreciate the questions. That always makes things work a little bit easier. Otherwise I forget half of what I say. Anyway, you're welcome. And this class will be on the YouTube channel probably today or tomorrow. Our support team is there. I think somebody had a question that maybe I forgot to answer. Let me meet emailing listing. Yeah, no, I think we got all the answers. Yeah. All right, everybody. Take it easy. Try to get this thing going. It might sound like a lot, but honestly, if you're looking at this and you just know you got to email people once a week, you're welcome. You're welcome, Carl. You got to run an ad once a week, and you got to mail something once or twice a month. Yes, Alberto, what's your question? And by the way, if you need a team account, you can find me over on the website somewhere. Usually, I think if you click on pricing or questions or something like that, I think I'm pricing my contact info is right there. Yes, right there. So if you have a question, you need a team account, brokerage account, let me know. You're welcome to let me know if you have a question. We do have a support team. I'm on the phone a lot, but when I'm free, I'm happy to help. Email is usually best for me because I can respond. Alberto, did you have a question or you just want to reach out later? Everybody, thanks. This call will be up on YouTube pretty soon. So I'm going to hit the road since I don't see any more questions. Bye, everybody.